Okay, let's see. I'm going to try to sit tonight. See if we can get, that's pretty good. I think you can see a good bit of my desk. All right, so hello. All right, my head's cut off a tiny bit. See if I can go down just a little bit. There we go. All right, how's everybody doing? Hopefully YouTube will send out those notifications. As you're hopping on, say hi in the chat. I think I saw there were a couple people before I came on. So let me know that you're here. I see Rita. Oh, where'd it go? I see Rita and Patty and Carlene. Yay! All messages. There we go. Hello, Donna and Alyssa. Donna, is this your first time catching me live on YouTube? Let me know. Yay, you made it live. All right, I'm decided to try to sit tonight. So I'm having to push all my stencils over that are down here by my legs, so I have room for my legs. So hope everyone's having a great night. Hello, Donna. It is your first time. Awesome. Rochelle, Janice, Donna, Cecilia, Tita. Awesome. So glad you guys are here. So I felt like doing, hi Sherry, I felt like doing some paper crafting tonight. I feel like it's been a little while. So I put in the description, I'm going to use, I have two different boxes. I have a graham cracker box, which I kind of like the height of, but I kind of like the shape of this one too. So, and this one has a smaller spine. Yes, Cece. Oh, awesome. So I'm gonna show you how you can use one of these. You know what? I feel like the graham cracker box is a little thicker than this. Let me see what the measurements are on the graham cracker box. It looks like 7 3/4 by 5. So maybe I will use this one, but it's gonna be really chunky. It can hold a lot of stuff. So drop your email. Oh, sure. It's really easy. It's just monarchmomdiy@gmail.com. There you go. All right. So how many of you guys like to journal or do junk journals? I have done junk journaling before. I feel like it's kind of making a comeback, and I have made albums before on both YouTube and my Facebook using chipboard, but I really like the idea of reusing. Yeah, these are the same height. This one just has a skinnier spine. Oh, I'm going to be putting cardstock on here, so I think I'm going to go ahead with my original, which was the graham cracker. You've never done it, so it's kind of like an art journal. Hi, Natty. Where you're just kind of like collaging, basically. It's, oh, who's addicted? Rochelle, you're addicted to junk journals, huh? The cool thing about junk journals is it's kind of like anything goes. It's almost like, it reminds me of when I was little, before I knew what scrapbooking was, and my mom gave me the JCPenney catalog, and I would cut out the pictures of things I was hoping to get for Christmas, and I would just collage them on, I just vividly remember, you know, the old pull shades. My parents had one that, I don't know, it had ripped or broken or something. They gave that to me. They rolled it out, and I just went to town on that thing. Went crazy. So I thought it'd be fun to show how you could make a cover with boxes. So I I had some graham cracker crumbs. I had some of these graham crackers. You know what? Maybe we will use the graham cracker one. I think we will. So I thought it'd be fun. And then I don't know how far we'll get. I did say in the description that I'm using a printable kit from, it's called 49 Dragonflies. It is, I think it's a British website, but it'll convert to dollars. And it was like less than $5. And these really pretty images. It's called Teal Pumpkin. And some of them have pumpkins on them. Some of them are just kind of vintagey. Some look like writing paper. So I printed these out, and I don't know how far we'll get. I do want to get to the point where I'm trying to tea stain some paper. But I have some, I have this, it's called stationery paper, antiqued and hand finished parchment. So my daughter a few years ago did a solo dance to Burn from Hamilton. And if you know anything about the musical, it's where she's talking about these letters that Hamilton wrote to her. And she needed some of this paper. She kind of crumpled it up. This is what's left. So I'm going to use some of this. I have a composition notebook from Walmart that is graph paper. I don't know why, but I just love graph paper. It's very white. I also grabbed this. They're kind of small. I've used some of these before. I would probably have to attach two pieces together to go in a signature. What else did I grab? I have some envelopes I thought would be fun to put in. So we're just going to go until I get tired tonight, I guess, and until you guys stop watching. But the first thing I want to do, so like I said, if you're just hopping on, I have these 2 boxes, and they're essentially the same size, except the graham cracker box has a wider spine. What is this spine? It's like 2.5 inches, and this one's 2 inches, but this cardboard's thicker. So what you're going to do is you're going to open up your box flat, okay, and you can see where this side was connected. We're not going to use that piece or this little tab. We're going to use these 3 pieces in the middle. I am going to keep these pieces just to help make the spine a little thicker. So I'm going to get my scissors. How late am I? Not late at all. I'm just jabbering away. So I think you guys can see pretty well what I'm doing. And okay, this is coming off. So I'm just going to cut that off. And we're going to now trim our box to look like a book. So if you've watched any of my bookmaking videos before, you know that I've used chipboard. So this is just kind of reusing something that you already have, and then you're not having to order chipboard. So it's kind of nice because you're reusing and repurposing. All right, so I'm going to cut these flaps off. And we are going to use, for tonight, we're going to use a no-sew binding. Did any of you watch the video? It was a while back. I made a book, and I used twine for the binding. Do you remember that video? We're going to do something very similar for this junk journal. Okay, one more little flappy here. And I'm hoping I can maneuver well with sitting. So I'm going to do my best here. How's everybody doing? Awesome. I'm seeing some new names. Hi, Ethel. You use old books? Yes. Remove the pages. Rochelle, what kind of binding do you use when you do that? I'm just curious. Do I want these little flaps or not? Now I'm not so sure. All right, let me move that box out of the way because we're not using it. All right, the first thing I want to do is I want to wrap. know what? I don't think I am going to keep these little tabs on here because they're going to make it harder to wrap the cardboard. So let's just keep our front cover, back cover, and spine. Now, it doesn't matter which way you do it. The box is naturally wanting to fold this way, so that's probably what I'm going to do. But the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take 2 pieces of craft cardstock, and I put a couple strips of score tape, because what I want is I want to make this a longer piece of cardstock that I can use to wrap. Ooh, it's going to be cutting it a little short. It's okay. We'll still be able to fold it over, I think. I think we'll be all right. We're going to go with it. I probably should have used 12 by 12, but that's okay. All right, so I'm just going to peel off the backing from here. Oh, you sew it in. Okay. And I'm just going to overlap. It's like 3/4 of an inch that I overlapped. And even if it's not perfectly straight, it's okay because we're just using it to cover the cardboard and to make it a little sturdier. All right, so so I have quite a bit extra on the one end. I usually like to do like an inch. So I'm hoping I'm gonna still be able to fold this over. I think it'll be okay. We'll just train it with our bone folder. Let me grab a pencil. All right, I'm gonna trim to about here. And I do have the link to my Amazon storefront if you're interested in any of the tools that I'm using, like the trimmer, the scoreboard, my glue, score tape, any of that stuff. All right. So you could just use glue. Oh, that's awesome, Linda. I'm actually going to get out my 1-inch score tape. I'm going to just do this with score tape. I don't feel like messing with glue tonight. So I'm going to use my score tape. Let's see. I don't need to completely cover the whole thing, but I think I will do like 4 strips. And then I will do 2 on the spine and 4 on this back cover. I'm being careful to not put, I don't think I did, not put score tape on the actual fold where the book is going to fold open. Okay. All right. So that is going to really adhere our cardstock to the back of our box, or the outside of our box. Hey, Amy. Oh, first time, Cece. Okay. So basically what I'm going to do here, I know it's a little hard to see because it's brown on brown, is this is what we're going to do. We're going to stick this down on the craft cardstock, press it down really well, and then I'm going to fold over and wrap it around. You could just trim it if you wanted, but then you're going to have maybe messier edges than you would actually want. So let's just peel the backing off of the score tape. So what score tape is just really sticky, comes in a lot of different widths. Like this one is 3/8. I use that one a lot. This one's 1 inch. It just is nice for covering large areas. Hi, Gwen. Thanks for hopping on, guys. I'd love it if you'd give this video a thumbs up. That really helps me grow my channel. And if you're not already subscribed to my channel, that would be awesome as well. Okay, so I'm just going to eyeball kind of where the middle is. Press, press, press. Now I've watched a lot of videos of making junk journals, and it's almost like anything goes, right? It's whatever you have on hand is what you can use, and that is awesome. I've done junk journaling in composition notebooks before. All right, so what I'm doing here to train my paper is I'm kind of scoring around the edges of the box, just to kind of start breaking up the fibers of the cardstock to help train it so that we will be able to fold it over. Okay, then I'll start kind of training it like this, pressing it. See, usually what I try to do is have an inch all the way around. So probably I should have used 12 by 12 cardstock so that I would have more to wrap around at the top and the bottom. But we're just going to go with this because this is what I started with. Maybe you don't have 12 by 12 scrapbook or cardstock, and you're just going to use what you have. So all right, so because I have such a thin border on the top and bottom, I'm going to grab my, let's see, I have 1/4 inch, yes, 1/4 inch score tape, because that'll fit around the edges here. All right, so let's do 1/4 inch around on the top and the bottom. Yes, it is a great option. It's a lot faster than glue, which is probably why I like to use it. Okay, we'll just do 1 inch on these. I've even seen up to 1.5 inch on the score tape. I've never bought that, but it's good to know that it's available if you needed it. Okay, so let's burnish this with our bone folder. This is going to get that glue into the fibers of the cardstock. And then when we fold it over, we'll burnish it again. But I do want to kind of cut the corners at a little bit of an angle, like this. That's going to make it so we don't have a bunch of bulk on the corners. Score tape, I get it on Amazon, and if you go in the description of this video is a link to my Amazon storefront. It should be there under favorite crafting supplies. Anything that is consumable is under supplies. Anything that is not consumable is under tools. Just FYI, that's how I differentiated that. All right, I'm really hoping I'm going to be able to get this folded over. So let's try. If nothing else, we'll just know in the future we need to make sure we have more extra at the top and bottom. I think it's going to be okay because I used score tape. I folded it tight and I'm burnishing it down really well. Okay, so there's our first straight edge. Now I'm going to flip it around and do the other side. You are welcome. Okay. Get this one. So, you know, we trained it with the bone folder, And then now I'm just kind of bending it and pressing it down, burnishing it really well. I'm gonna have to train where the fold is. I'm gonna have to train that again because now it's got paper over it. It's got extra thickness. Okay. Let's train it a little bit. All right, let's get our side pieces. Okay. All right. You guys ask any questions that you have in the chat. And if I don't see them during the live, I will be sure to come back and answer those as I can. Okay, so here is our book cover. Pretty snazzy, huh? And here's the inside. I'm still gonna just train my folds on my spine just a little bit. Sometimes, Patty, you know, I found that here, my people don't want to buy the albums. I'm not sure why, but maybe because I have to price them a little higher because of all the supplies that go into it. But here is our spine. Now, I'm thinking this thing's gonna need a ribbon or something as a closure, because otherwise I'm worried it's not gonna stay shut. All right, so that is the basic making the cover of your book. How do you keep your chalk pastes from bleeding on wood? You have to seal the wood. Otherwise, because wood is porous, it is going to spread out. So usually I am not stenciling on raw wood. I usually will paint with chalk paint. If you want the natural wood, you're going to want to seal it at least with Mod Podge or something like that. Okay, does that answer your question? All right, I want to do some decorating on the cover. And even though these are like, you could fold them and have it be all one, some of these I'm gonna cut apart. So it's got some really pretty images in here. I like this one. So I'm thinking of using this kind of for like the fall, maybe as a gratitude journal is one thing I was thinking about. So I'm thinking I want something on the inside. So let's pick that first. Which one do I want? Maybe I should just do that plain one. This one. Okay, am I back? I'm countdown on my iPad. Back. Is it really grainy? It's like America Online. What does that mean? Ugh. It's really grainy on my phone. You guys see me okay? Is the picture okay? Why? It is grainy.
It's back up.
It's back up. It says no internet access. Okay. I don't think YouTube likes us either. How are we now? Am I back? I'm having to use the hotspot on my phone, which can be spotty in the house as well. So I'm hoping that we can get everybody back on. We had like 50 people on. All right, I am measuring this again because I forgot what we were at. 5. Let's do 5. All right, so I am cutting pieces of this. Much better. Okay, good. I'm so glad. Because I really want to at least get this cover made and talk about what we could put inside for pages. All right, so I am just using some of this paper that I printed. I think someone asked what type of paper I print it on. And I use a kind of a heavier weight copy paper. I think it's like 28 pound or something like that. So it's not super thick. It's not cardstock because you want it to be able to bend and such. So I'm going to put this piece over the spine and it overlaps a little bit because these pieces are 8.5 by 11 and they'll continue. So there will be a little bit of a seam here in this, in the, you know, the crease where the fold is. Oh, it's stormy where you are, huh? Well, I hope the rest of our friends hop back on and didn't get too frustrated. All right, so I'm gonna just keep going with score tape, I think, just for quickness and ease tonight. You can always put glue on top of the score tape if you want to make sure it's super sturdy and it's not going to fall apart. And it doesn't really add to the thickness. I'm going to put another strip in the middle, but I need to peel these off first because they were kind of overlapping a little bit. So fold any extra adhesive over. Let's do one more one more strip down the middle. Close enough. All right. I'm gonna just trim this extra off. Yay, I'm good now. Please, no more interruptions. All right, so here you can see I have score tape all over the back. I'm gonna peel this middle backing off. And I'm just going to eyeball kind of where the middle is and equal space top and bottom. It's really sticky. Ugh, goodness. There it goes. Okay. Okay, so I'm just going to kind of fold over, crease where our fold is, train the paper with my bone folder. Same thing on this side. Make sure it's down. So now I've added even a little bit more bulk to this, so I'm definitely going to want to train it back and forth, and probably put a ribbon closure on my junk journal. All right, so now I have these other two pieces. They kind of match, and I'm going to overlap them with that middle piece that I just put down. Okay. Little slow in California. Yes, score tape is double-sided tape. Yes, yes. All right, I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to, for these cover front and back, is I'm going to do score tape around the edges, and then I'm going to fill in with my adhesive runner, just so I'm not using so much score tape. It's not, I mean, it's like 10 something for all of that, but you really do get a lot out of it. Make sure, okay. Okay, then we'll just use this for the middle. Why isn't it? Well, that's not good. So this is messed up. Let's see if I can fix it. I'm not sure if this piece is supposed to go on the top or the bottom. Let's try it there. Hey, I fixed something. That's good. Did you say you printed out your paper? Yes. Yes, I can just use scrapbook paper, but this was a kit and I really liked it and I didn't have time to go out and buy something. So of course, if you have a scrapbook paper kit that you want to use, please do that. You do not have to purchase a printable. That is just what I chose to do today. So please do what works for you. Okay, so I don't want this to go over the fold again. And you know what? It's a junk journal. It does not have to be perfect. I just want something on the inside here. Okay. And the other one. All right. So, those of you that have done junk journaling, what kind of things do you do in the junk journal? Do you sketch? Do you maybe find pictures to put inside? What is your experience? Is it just like a general collage book? I am curious. All right. Trying to keep this pretty even, top to bottom. Okay. Now, you don't have to cover the inside of your book if you don't want to. I just wanted to, so it's pretty inside. Okay, and I will decorate, put something decorative over the front and back covers. However, if I'm going to do a ribbon closure, I'm going to need to put that underneath first. So, since I didn't think about that, let me go grab that real quick. I know what I want to use. I think I'm going to use this. It's a little stretchy, but I think it will be pretty on the outside. So let's see how much. I'll probably put way too much on and then trim it later. All right. So I think what I'm going to do is do it across the middle. And it's kind of a stretchy lace material, but remember, we're going to be covering over this with like some scrapbook paper and stuff. So I think what I'm going to do is just do a little bit of my tape runner and lay it on top of that. Press it down. It only has to hold it a little bit because the scrap of paper, whatever decoration we put, will hold it the rest of the way. Oh my goodness. Keep getting snagged on me. Okay. And then here. All right. So now when we put our decoration over this, this nice ribbon will be sticking out. I don't know why it is not sticking. It might need some glue. Doesn't want to stick to this paper tape. But like we said, it only needs to stay there in place until we cover it up. Okay, so my book cover is 5 1/4 inches by 7 3/4. So I'm going to cut something that's 5 inches by 7 1/2. I take a 1/4 inch off of each of the dimensions. Which glue gun? Are you talking about my hot glue gun? That's from Amazon. It's also on that Amazon link. Okay, let me grab some cream colored cardstock. happen to have all my cardstock right here now. So I'm going to cut some of this to mount. So obviously this cover is taking a lot longer than it would take to actually put things in your junk journal. Okay, so what did I say? I said 5 by 7.5. We'll do 2 of those. This is also going to make the outside of our junk journal more sturdy as well. Okay, so 5 by 7.5. Then I really like this one for the cover. What do you guys think? I think it's pretty, and then we can maybe put a word on it. Or this one. And then there's space on the front for like a sticker. Yep, art glitter glue. That is also in my Amazon storefront. Oh, yes. Art glitter glue. It's in my Amazon shop. It's the best. All right, this is 5 by 7.5. So I'm going to do 4 3/4. So I got to trim this a little narrower. 4 3/4. So I'm just getting a little bit smaller by 7 1/4. I think. So this will be our front cover. 7 1/4 is right there. All right, so this will mount on top of the cream. And see, it's going to have that nice border around. And then this is going to go right on the top, over holding the lace down. Yes, art glitter glue is awesome. All right, I think I'm going to do the big pumpkin on the back. Or, no, I'm not going to cut up another piece. I want to use this one. So what did I say? 4 3/4. Four 3/4 by 7 1/4. I just love paper crafting. It's just so fun. All right, so this one will go here. It's kind of like lace and stuff, and this will go on the back. All right, so I don't know why I have, oh, I do know why I have my scoreboard up here, in case I need it for folding things. All right, so I'm just gonna use my Scotch tape runner for this. Just going around the edges, a little bit in the middle. And then we'll center it on here as best we can. Looks good. Okay, that'll go on my back cover. This one on my front cover. Yeah, so I think I am going to use this fall as kind of a gratitude journal, things I'm thankful for. And let's open this flat. I think I'm going to go ahead and glue this on. That's going to help it even more to hold down the lace. So, you know, I got a refill of art glitter glue, but I hadn't filled up my little bottle yet, but it seems to be doing okay still. Yeah, this is, I think, the best glue for paper crafting. It doesn't crinkle up your paper. And you have a little bit of time to kind of move it around. Okay, what are we thinking so far? Is that pretty? I think so. All right, that is not straight, but that is okay. Doesn't really matter what it looks like right here because we're going to cover that too. There, I've seen some pretty elaborate junk journal covers with like charms and chains and all sorts of stuff. But I think it's also something that, you know, you start with a base idea and then it can kind of evolve as you find things, as you add things to it. All right. All right, what did I cut this at again? The cream is at 7.5 by 5. So I need to do 7.5 by, how big is my spine? It is 2.5 inches. So 7.5 by 2.25. Take 1/4 inch off. All right, 2.25 by 7.5. Okay, and then see how it's like popping open? This is why we need the closure, which now we have. It's secured down. We'll just keep kind of working it. Do I have a piece that I already cut? Don't think so. I'm gonna do this for the spine. So 7.5 by 2.25. So I'm gonna do 2 inches. By 7.25. And then it'll fit right on top. Of this. And then we'll glue it on the spine. Hodgepodge. I love that word. Hodgepodge. I like hodgepodges too. All right, let's use the tape runner. I've seen people use glue stick for, you know, putting things together too. So don't feel like you have to have a lot of fancy things to start making a junk journal. Glue sticks are going to be super cheap here pretty soon too with back to school. But I will say I do like my art glitter glue. What I love about it and the score tape is that I don't have to worry about my projects falling apart. Because once that stuff is stuck, it is stuck good. And you can kind of slide it a little bit to get it in the center. Yay! Okay, so here's the front cover, the spine, and the back cover, and the inside. Now, let's take a break on that just for a second to talk about what goes inside. Just like in a traveler's notebook, they're kind of called signatures. Okay, that's where you have a set of pages that are all like folded together. I don't really have one nearby that I can show you, but what I wanted to do is kind of use a combination of some of these pages, but I am going to trim them down a little bit because remember, our book is only 7 3/4 tall. Yes. So I'm going to want my signatures to be like 7.5 inches by probably 5. 7.5 by 5. Okay. So we're going to use a combination of some of these pages. Now, remember, this is 11 inches. So I'm going to have to trim this down to 10 so that when I fold it in half, it's going to be 5 inches. Okay? So where's 10? 10 is out there. Now, if you do your book bigger, then you won't have to trim. You can just print these out and fold them in half, and they're going to be the right size. 5 by 7.5. So I'm just trimming a little bit off the tops and bottoms. Okay, so now when I fold this in half on a flat surface, this is the size that I want my inserts to be in my book. Okay, now remember I said we're going to put twine here, and that's what we're going to put each of these sections under. I also had like the envelopes. Okay, you could make this where it goes in. It might stick out a little bit more, but that's okay. Sometimes you have things sticking out that are tall. I think, yeah, I don't know about the envelopes. That was just kind of an idea, but we'll see. Then we've got some of this paper. Now, let's see. What is the size of this paper that I was showing you? Oops. Let's see. It is, oh, see, it's just a little bit smaller. So all I'm going to do with this is fold it in half and add it in here. See, like that? Another thing you could use, like I said, is the paper from a composition notebook. I like the graphene paper because, actually I should take it out of the middle. You can fold it. You can fold it and you can still write on it because it's squares, right? So let's take these two middle ones out of the stitching. Oops, I ripped it a little. That's okay. I can make it a little smaller. Let's make this, that's like 6 3/4. And still fold it in half. Like so. I can even round. Trying to see which rounding is the same. Nope. I need the bigger one. Okay, Okay, so then we got a piece of the graph paper in there. So this is essentially what a signature is like. You've got lots of different, I'm going to put the envelope here. So I want this, then like our little envelope here. We'll put, let's put a piece of, another piece of this. And then I've got another graphing paper. So we're going to cut this down to 10 again. Have any of you tried to tea stain paper before? I was watching some videos on how to do it. It looks really cool. I have not tried it before though. Let's see. I think this one will fold. You could also print these two-sided. So this one, oh wait, I wanted it this way. Do it this way. You coffee dye. A junk journal, it's just like any type of journal, any other type of journal where you can just jot things down, you can glue things in. We're gonna end up at the middle is what's gonna go on one of our pieces of twine. So it's gonna hold these little booklets in, but we're not gonna need to sew them, or you could, I guess, staple them if you had a long reach stapler. We could do more of the cream colored cardstock. You could even ink the edges. That's something that a lot of people do, especially when they decorate in their junk journal. It's kind of just like an art journal, or you can use it for writing if you put a lot of paper in that you know, has lines or can easily be written on. You coffee stain yours by accident. Patty, you're hilarious. Oh, that's funny. Another thing I was looking for is like old gardening books. You can do pictures. You could do old like newspaper clippings, books from children's books. Okay, here's just a cream colored cardstock that we can stick in the middle here. So it's really anything goes, and you can make as many of these little sections as you want to go in your junk journal. So we made our cover from a graham cracker box. We covered it with cardstock. We used some decorative paper on the outside and the inside. We have this lacy, like elastic lacy stuff that you can then tie to hold your book closed. But what I want to show you next is the twine. And I'm actually going to use actual jute twine. This is a thinner jute twine from Dollar Tree. You could use baker's twine if you wanted, but I'm going to go, so this is facing me. Okay, this is the top of my journal. This is the bottom. I'm going to hold a piece out here, and I'm going to wrap it, try to keep my ribbon out of the way. And I'm going to try to keep it equally spaced. So I think I'm going to go like 5 times. All right, so that is 2 inside. Okay, getting my lace caught in here. All right, this will be 3. And I'm keeping it pretty tight. You don't want to pull it so tight that it's going to bend the top and bottom of your spine, but this has so many layers on it, I don't think that would happen. Okay, that was 4. Let's go 5 and then up. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. So I'm gonna cut with some extra on there. Okay. All right, so I've got this piece that I started. And what I'm gonna do now is I'm gonna take the end where I just trimmed it and I'm gonna tuck it under these 4 strings. And I'm gonna pull it like this. Then I'm gonna take my top one and I'm gonna go under the opposite direction. And I want them to cross each other. Okay. So you can see here they're crossing each other, but I can also see that my strings here got pulled together. So we want them a little more spread out. And evenly spaced on here. Okay, so there's 5 strings going to be inside, and that is going to allow us to put 5 signatures in our book. Now we're going to pull them, and we're going to tie a knot. Now they're still straight inside, but on the outside it looks like this. Okay, and then we're going to tie it in a knot again. You could do a bow if you want, but I think I'm just going to trim them like this. Okay, so there's our front cover. We open it up. You've got 5 strings inside that are pretty tight, and then the back cover. So I know this could have way more pages. Where's my front cover? Here. So I'm going to show you when you go to put your signatures in, you just carefully lift up one of the strings, you open your signature to the middle, you slide it under. This is hard to do upside down for some reason. Make sure I have them all. There we go. Okay, so you see, I've got my first signature in here on my first string, and I have plenty of room for more of them on these strings, and each signature can have a lot more pages in it. So this could be very, very full of all sorts of signatures. All right, well, I hope you guys enjoyed that. If you were on earlier and got booted off, hopefully you'll come back and watch the replay, and I'm gonna put some pictures when I get this finished to show you all the fun things. Now, what I didn't tell you is that with on that 49 dragonflies, it had the background papers, and it also had some like ephemera, so like some tags. I already cut out a little pocket, like a little pocket that you cut out and then you fold on the lines here. And if I just put glue on these 2 little tabs, I can, let's say on this blank page, I could glue this little pocket right in the corner on my page, and then I could stick things in my pocket. You can make pockets. I think this is supposed to be a pocket, but I'm not exactly sure how it's supposed to fold, so I'm gonna need to figure that out. But lots of fun stuff that you can add to your junk journals. So thanks so much for joining me, and I will post some pictures when I get some more stuff inside here. So make sure you check out links for 49 dragonflies, also for my Amazon storefront if you're interested in any of the tools that I used tonight. So, all right, thanks everybody. We'll see you later.